It's good to be back. It's good to be back on Doctor Who Reviews. Hey, Rain, who wrote the one we're talking about now?
Pete McTighe.
Excuse me for one moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This week we are looking at Lucky Day, the return to the show of Ruby Sunday. And to discuss Lucky Day with me, I'm joined by my 4 co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, they've come too far to give up who they are. It's Freezing Inferno.
I'm okay.
Got it all out your system?
Yeah, it should be good. Okay. Who else is here?
Should be good, they lied lyingly. To my virtual right, she's really into 3G. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. It's cognitive better known as Cat.
Hell yeah, we all being girl bosses out here, just ignore the other ones because they don't exist.
There's the gaslighting right there.
I don't know
It's
what
a
you're
lie,
talking about.
if you believe it, girly.
You did it. Cat, you did it. Next, he's chasing the moon, reaching out to touch the stars. It's Kuchiri.
I am still in shock. The video is now at 9,390 views.
It's doing gangbusters, my dude.
It's I got that imposter syndrome going on right now.
No, you take your success. You deserve it.
You done it. You talked about the popular thing. You said the thing.
You did a thing. And finally, she's so lucky. She's a star. It's our special guest for the week, Kris.
May the 4th it is.
Oh my god.
Doctor Who podcast I watch. Wanted it.
Well, that's all take off for tonight, folks. See you next time.
I can't believe you would say this on today, the day of Alice Liddell's birth.
I can't believe you went through with it. Kudos.
Oh my fucking god! Oh, what the hell did my
love
voice
you guys.
just do there? Oh, so well, I'm back after some fun. Food was had, things were bought, and now we got to talk about Pete fucking McTighe again.
Be nice.
It's better than his previous efforts.
There you go.
Before we get further on this, has he written any other episodes other than Kerblam?
Praxeus.
Oh, okay. So if I liked 2 halves of an episode in this one, does that mean I like 2 episodes of it so far, or?
Wait,
Yes.
you did Praxeus?
Yeah, Praxeus was his.
Well,
Oh,
Shit, I might need
forgot
some
about that.
background info on that then.
weird.
COVID, but not COVID. But they don't.
Yeah, it wasn't COVID, but it came out the week that COVID happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
God.
plot is, oh no, this evil Asian lady is actually an alien who's going to release a virus to doom the planet. And it happened to come out in like February 2000.
Not his fault. He wrote it like 6 months before that, but
still.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh my god.
yeah. Yeah, and you wonder why
And
people
also
are
it was
a bit weary when this writer came back to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Well,
I forgot
this
about
shows why I
Praxeus,
was
honestly,
weird.
because I tried to push all the Chimnall shit out of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also involved like environmental stuff, and like there were birds eating trash, and that was part of the virus and everything. So it was not good.
It's fair to say that, yeah, the good guys.
Don't pollute.
It's
Well,
fair to say that this episode was quite divisive online.
Still
Some
is
people-
quite divisive.
Some people didn't like it, some people did, and some people were Chloe.
I'm pretty sure we can't have this on YouTube. Why?
We're not. Unlike your popular gangbusters viral hit, we're not making money off this shit. We can say whatever we want.
Oh my
On
god.
the one hand, I kind of think I need to get Chloe on a podcast one day. On the other hand, I'm terrified I'm going to get Chloe on a podcast one day.
I
You
don't know if
podcast
Chloe
with
liked
us.
it or not. I can't tell.
She did.
You've podcasted with us for years, and this is what you're afraid of. We could do so much worse.
Have you seen his other tweets?
In fact,
I
with all
just
due
wanna-
respect, we have Kat and Kris on this podcast. We probably are going to do much worse.
Well, okay.
Have you seen her other tweets, Fo?
No.
It can't be much worse than the fact that Rain fucking dropped gay porn on us 2 weeks ago.
Without realizing, yes.
Hey, speak for
What?
yourselves. I wasn't here.
Excuse me, why was I left out?
Oh yeah, I didn't actually tell you about that, did I?
Rude! Rude! 1,000 Years Dungeon? How dare you leave me out of the gay porn?
So the,
We will clarify this misunderstanding later. Rainiac, please talk about the cold
Also,
open.
Chris,
so
I'm
the
gonna tell
cold
you
open
right
the
now, I
episode.
can hear you from outside of my headphones.
So the cold open the episode. Then, oh dear God.
Remember 2007 when the show was good?
Yeah, remember 2007 when Conrad Clark wasn't an asshole? Just kidding. He was always an asshole from birth.
Oh my.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Probably not.
Well, I mean, his mother didn't help.
Yeah, his mother's not great.
I do like this scene though, because it clarifies that this is kind of a Love and Monsters sequel, but at the same time,
No, it's
like,
not.
Not a sequel, no.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
start
know.
with that.
it's not a sequel because no one's fucking sidewalks, but
We did
No,
have
but-
Mr. Blue
Dogman.
Sky playing, thank God.
No, we have something else playing.
It's still an episode that, you know, starts out with, oh hey, this kid interacted with the Doctor as a kid. Now he's trying to find the Doctor. Maybe he looks up to the Doctor, you know, all that good stuff. And then no, he's just an evil son of a bitch.
So this is a thing that is a valid reading of the episode, but what doesn't help it is that there are about 45 billion more valid readings of what the fuck this thing is trying to do.
Can I also point out that I like the fact that the Doctor and Melinda just turn up and then leave it before the plot gets going?
I didn't deal with this one. This is Doctor-lite.
No, I'm out. Put the Vindicator,
Doctor-lite.
get back in the TARDIS, leave. Screw the kid for life, leave.
Absolutely nothing bad ever happens in 2007. Nothing at all.
And the show was good.
No, there wasn't. It wasn't like there was like some sort of alien invasion from the far future that killed 10% of the population, and then didn't happen.
Nothing bad. Nothing
Aliens
bad
aren't real. It's all a conspiracy by the woke unit.
See, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get his motivations. I don't get why he's trying, outside of like trying to get a bunch of money and fame.
There you go. You just answered your own question, Chris.
I know, but it doesn't make sense because he knows better.
Okay, Chris. Chris.
Honestly, no, he does. We'll get into this later, but like, y'all are being a little bit like uncharitable towards his character, just a little bit, and you're reading into things that aren't there and not reading into things that are there.
This is episode.
Like they gave you his entire character on a silver platter.
They do. Yeah.
There.
I mean, are we just going to go ahead and talk about this guy then? He is straight up every outright grifter that's out there.
But he doesn't begin like that. You're supposed to think he's not like that at the beginning. That's why this works.
Yeah, well, this is the thing because
Yeah.
every
gosh.
single one.
Let's start with the whole. He starts out with like a podcast, you know, trying to get in more information about this weird blue box that he saw twice in his life, and the episode just segues right into a whole meeting with Ruby Sunday and the Doctor fighting these horrible things, and he just on the tail end of it sees her, and she gets the fuck out, but he takes a picture of her, and that's how he finds her later to try and get her onto his podcast.
Yeah.
But
she-
there's a
she's-
lot that goes on before he does that, which is bizarre to me.
He puts her picture online, and Ruby sees it and seeks him out to be on the podcast.
I know Frez has their hand raised, but I'm assuming Unit sent Ruby because they know that he was marked by the scree.
True, they do show Unit listening to the podcast.
Well, they show a member listening to podcasts. It turns out
Who
to
will
be
later find
one
out it's not who you think it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's Jordan.
I missed that.
Foreshadowing. Nice.
Go, Frez.
So I just wanted to add a few things. First of all, how dare this episode slander podcasters like this? As podcasters, you should frankly be fucking offended that they would insinuate the podcasters are alt-right grifter weirdos.
I know what you mean.
Now is as good a time as any to
Secondly,
put this
I just
up
want to
while
add that.
Prez is doing the rant.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, that's good. Secondly, I just want to say that this is a thing with one of McTighe's little how shall I put it?
Tropes?
Darlings? Tropes. That's the word I'm looking for. Yes. One of the things he likes to put in his work is, it's a twist. This person you thought was good was bad. We have Charlie in Kerblam. We have, what's her name in Praxeus? And now we have Conrad Clark. But he at least is improving in that instead of doing it in the last 10 minutes, he does the switcheroo and switches over the story and neatly bisects it into halves. So you've got the first half. It's like, oh, it's a nice little date. Ooh, I'm just a lonely little boy looking for a girlfriend. Then, psych, motherfucker, I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
And third, most importantly, I'm reacting off of our little Google Docie here that we're going. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll.
Essentially,
So, yeah,
to go off of what you said, he's kind of like Mysterio from Far Away Home.
Oh my
Far From
god,
Home.
that's a fantastic comparison.
Which is funny
Yeah,
because
he's
what we were
there.
talking
He's
about.
charming Spider-Man, aka Ruby Sunday, and he's got bad intentions. It's just he reveals them to Ruby Sunday rather than trying to hide them and get the the robots and everything.
Yeah.
It's funny because we're going to be talking about Marvel when we get to the climax.
Can I also point out
again, big fuck off Avengers Tower. What
Not
else
just
are you going to compare it to?
they have become the shield of the Doctor Who universe, whether they should or not. But
We'll be discussing that in great detail.
let's just talk a little bit about Millie Gibson's performance as Ruby, because my god, what a fantastic performance this is.
I want to give this woman a hug.
I wish she was back on the show full time.
I want to give her,
Want to give her a hug and a cute little kiss on her forehead and tell her that everything's going to be okay.
And I'm just going to have a small rant at the media here. Okay? Not in a Conrad Clark sort of a way, don't worry. How dare you insinuate that she was leaving the show when she wasn't, because you may have made it harder for her to get work.
Great. We'd
Despite
love
the
to
idea
see
that
it.
she was difficult to work with, which was a complete lie, and when that gets banded around, it's harder for that actor to get work. So how dare you?
So wait,
Oof.
they fucked her the same way they fucked over Eccleston?
Pretty much, but thankfully, it doesn't seem to have worked.
Well, she's
Thankfully.
great. I mean, listen, I haven't plotted it out yet. I'm only dancing with vague vibes, but when the season's done, I do intend on rewatching her episodes and coming up with a theory about why her time on the show and her arc works. So look forward to that in the future. But she's great here. And we'll definitely be talking about the betrayal and all that. But I'm trying to follow the skeleton here and not go off tangent lands too much.
Well, I will say this. I think they could have developed their relationship a little bit more before the big reveal.
Here's the thing I just wanted to ask the girls, because in the past you two have had the most finely tuned bullshit boy detectors I've ever seen. Like, you immediately sniff out these fucking, like the shithead from the guy from Time Loop Dalek episode, where it's like, oh, this is a creepy fucker immediately. Don't let me know. So I just wanted to ask, did you get the bad vibes, the ick from Conrad Clark before the reveal?
That's the worst part. No,
I
didn't.
didn't suspect this much ick, When he
No.
took the thing and then said that he wouldn't do it unless she had a date with him, the fact that he didn't drink it right then and there set off alarm bells in my head.
What? No, it's she told him not to.
Well, fair. But
No,
there was
she
never
told him
any
to drink it when he
proof.
got home, and he didn't drink that even
Well, no,
then.
drink
so,
it before you go to bed because it's going to knock you out for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
The fact that he still kind of held this very important cure hostage to wheedle another date out of her felt a little bit off. And I had a feeling that he
there
wasn't
are
going to
guys who
actually
do
drink
that
it.
though, like in a playful manner. Like he could not have meant it. Let's say he was completely sincere and none of the bullshit in Act 2 actually happened, and he was 100% sincere about everything. There are some guys who do that in a playful manner who are like, I mean, I could do this, but maybe if you go on another date with me, I might do it a little bit more. And if the girl says no, they're like, oh, all right. And then they still do it anyways. You know, there are some guys who do that as a cute little thing. So it's not like a terrible, horrible red flag. It's more like a pink flag, if anything, I would say.
Well, it's still, I don't know, something felt a little bit off when he said that to me. And I was like holding him at arm's length. And then it was like, well, maybe he is really sincere and it is really cute. But like, kudos to the writers. I didn't see that twist coming. I knew he was desperate to see the doctor and he
Yeah.
might be using her to see the doctor. But I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Like,
I
boom,
honestly
gotcha,
thought that
bitch,
he
prank
did
show.
not take it. I thought he didn't take it so that he could say, you know, like, oh, I thought the doctor would come and save me. And so then I could, you know, see him and prove to everybody I'm not crazy. The doctor does exist. Because that's one of the things that we've had in the past. But then they just went complete like 180 and it turns out he's a complete asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit much. That was beyond my third eye's vision right there.
Yeah. These are the worst assholes too. These are the ones that can completely charm you. They draw you in and then they turn around and it turns out, oh no, you're worse than I thought.
Yeah. Frezno, go ahead.
So I was debating whether or not I wanted to go on this tangent, but I feel it's important considering my other side hobby. As you may know, I am a amateur virtual YouTuber who plays the silly games on the Twitch and whatnot. And last weekend, while y'all were enjoying the the VTuber community kind of blew up. There's a popular indie VTuber named Cinder, and a whole bunch of Google Docs dropped where it turned out that she was a backstabbing, duplicitous fuckhead who was like talking shit about her friends in order to stop VTuber modelers from working with them so that she could lock up exclusivity deals and bolster her own popularity at the expense of them, all while, you know, being a fake mean girl, Regina George. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. I'm going to fucking get you. And I remember watching the person who was most betrayed by this and watching their reaction video, and it's just the most heartbreaking fucking thing because they're just sobbing and wondering, why, what did I do wrong? Why were you friends with these people, well, not with me? Why would you stab me in the back like this? How could you possibly do this to me? What I can't fathom it. It's just the most heartbreaking thing, and I felt the same way for Ruby Sunday when he's like, you stupid fucker, you thought I liked you? No, this is all part of my agenda. Fuck you. And it's just,
yeah.
You just can't understand people like Conrad Clark or Cinder because you fundamentally fail because we have, you know, basic empathy for our friends and don't see things as like a competition to be won at the expense of others' well-being. Whereas these people do think like that. And I'm not saying that Cinder the VTuber is a right-wing shithead. I don't know. She might get canceled enough so she'll pivot over there. That remains to be seen. But even so, still, they just leave destruction in their wake to prove their own goals and bolster their own reputations. And you just got to take a moment to think of the people left behind who are hurt and traumatized by this. The Bow, the Whales.
I just want to interject here. There's a word for that, Frez. It's called narcissist.
Yeah, that word was thrown around a lot in the reactions and accusations and whatnot.
Yeah,
That's my piece. I just wanted to say, the hell we send her.
yeah, concur. Just wanted to briefly point out that when you watch this episode back a second time, it's very well done because there are clues to his real goal. Because when he first meets Ruby Sunday, he talks about storytelling, like she tells great stories, and actually that's kind of a red flag.
Yeah.
Kat?
So I think right about now would be the best time to go into Conrad as sort of a character. So something that most people, and especially some of you guys here, aren't really looking at is just Conrad himself. So let's look at that little cold opening. So we meet Conrad. He is staring in awe at this thing that should not exist. Like, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything in particular, but can anybody remember any specific alien sightings in the Doctor Who universe that was not erased before 2007?
The freaking he even names drops them. He names drops them. The blood people, the blood
Sycorax.
control. Sakura, yeah, he name drops them.
Sycorax, Yetis, Daleks and
Yeah,
Cybermen.
Any of the
Were they
Dalek
like
invasion.
well known in 2007 when he was a kid?
Well, Daleks and Cybermen were, yeah.
By 2007, if we're going by RTD, you'd have the Slovene crashing into Big Ben too.
Okay. So he's in an area where there are a lot of alien activities, right?
Mhm.
Now, we don't know anything about Conrad at this point. Like, we don't know if he's a known liar or if his mom just assumes that he's a liar because he's a young kid and she's an asshole. But either way, he comes to her and he says, "Mom, I saw something amazing." And what does she do? She immediately smacks him upside the head and says, "Don't you dare lie to me." That kind of interaction, if we're to take that as a daily basis, will change somebody.
Mm.
We have to assume that that is a daily interaction with them.
It explains what he's like. It does not excuse it.
Couldn't
It
have put it
never
better
does.
No, I'm
myself.
not saying this is an excuse. None of this is an excuse.
I know.
No,
What
I know
I'm
that.
saying is this is what he is as a character. This is why he acts the way he does. And a lot of people don't seem to be focusing on that, in my opinion. It's like he is an asshole because he was essentially taught to be an asshole. And he had the opportunity to be a much better person. We saw he could be a good person. He was able to put that on as a veneer, but he chose to be an asshole. He is a tax dodger, but he goes and complains about people, units specifically using their taxes, even though he doesn't pay taxes.
Oh,
Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
He
the
does
thing
a lot
about,
of projecting
Shirley
there.
Ann Bingham.
Oh yeah, there's
you
projection at
know-
Wazoo.
You know who also projects about people not paying their taxes while not paying taxes?
Yeah.
Well, yes. But it's like, unfortunately, a lot of his character does hinge on what he was like growing up. And there is a lot of what his character is like that is the basis of what his actions are. I know, looking at this document, and I read your first impressions there, Frez, you said that there was a lot of anti-vax stuff there.
Well, there's a bit. I mean, it's all
Well,
over
a
the place,
bit.
but basically the part where he's like, he doesn't drink the antidote, you could see it as, "Oh, I don't need your woke vaccinations.
I wouldn't
don't
call
need
that
shit."
anti-vax. I would call that as holding up the lie in itself. Essentially,
he's
he's saying,
scheming. It's
"I
part of the
don't
scheme."
believe you. I don't believe your lies, so I'm not going to take this. I don't know what's in it. For all I know, you're trying to poison me." He's not specifically saying anti-vax. He's saying, "I'm anti-you. I'm
That's
anti
true,
your
that's-
lies."
Well, that's
So you
just something-
probably could read that as anti-vax, but he's more anti-you. He's anti-unit. He's anti-alien. He's anti-Ruby.
there's a lot going on with him. And well, the anti-vax thing is something that I've just seen come up. It's not really my personal read, but there's an ambiguity to him where it's like you're not sure if it's like what you're saying, where he genuinely is like he's just saying what his social media cronies want to hear in order to give him money to continue to fund his shit.
Yeah, that's the problem with Conrad. We're not seeing Conrad. We're seeing the veneers that he puts on. You know what Conrad is? Conrad is Elon Musk.
Oh my fucking God.
You're not wrong.
Just like when Elon
I'd have gone Joe Rogan, but yeah, fair.
Just like when Elon decided to throw up the Nazi salute at the inauguration, which he did not do because he's a Nazi. He did it because he thought that would appeal to the most people, which unfortunately it did.
But he is a Nazi. He went to the German far-right party, which has declared the new Nazis, and did speeches about how they were going to take over Germany.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There was somebody who was close to him who literally said he's not a Nazi. He's just putting it on as a veneer in order to appeal to the people that he thinks would be the best people to be around.
So he's basically playing the winner side.
He's playing the winner's side. That's what Conrad is doing. Conrad is doing the Elon Musk thing. He is playing what he thinks the winner's side will be. He doesn't think that UNIT will win, so he wants to play on the side that he thinks will win. And he was able to make it just exactly that. He got pissed off at UNIT because UNIT didn't hire him, and so he made them into the enemy. And so he decided to make the entire world UNIT's enemy. Unfortunately for him, and thankfully for the rest of us, it didn't work out for him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fred?
Oh. I guess my DMs. I forgot the point I want to make. Rain, you go.
Well, all right. I was just going to put a little bit about that whole scene where we first see the Shriek, which is obviously it's an adventure we didn't get to see between the 15th Doctor and Ruby.
Right after the Beatles episode, they said.
Yes. So, in other words, that's coming to big finish in the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know it is.
Yeah.
As soon as shooting is off the show for good, it's coming to big finish. Or they'll hire someone to do an impersonation of him. But there is that. Also, we get the mention of the pheromones, which I thought was a cool idea. I thought the Shriek itself was a cool idea. Ruined forever by the fact that Kris keeps calling them Shreks, but...
Hey, now,
Yeah, the Shreks.
you're an all-star.
I don't think Kris saw the special makeup they had created for them, but it does look like Shrek come.
Kind of.
No, it's really funny because Kris and I were laughing the entire time because we were looking at this and it's like, that's just a man in a suit. And then it got to the end where the actual one came up and it's like, okay, that's a lot better.
No, they actually went out of their way to create two suits. One for the
face.
The one for the actual monster, and one that actually looks like a suit they probably would have used in like the mid-90s.
The fake Shrieks, or the Freaks, if you will.
The freaks.
The Treks and the Freaks.
Imagining. Boop, boop, boop.
This is the best version of West Side Story I've ever
Hello,
seen.
Kamen Rider. Hello, Toei. This is Russell T. Davies. I need your help.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is just Kamen Rider Hibiki again.
Honestly, that's kind of an insult because the suits in Kamen Rider are better than that.
Oh,
You
Power
are not
Nice.
Rangers, Hibiki.
Yes.
You don't know.
But, what was the point I was going to make? Oh, yeah, that's
No, I'm
right.
just throwing everybody off.
It's okay. It's what happens. It happens. I want to just mention briefly that Ruby's grandmother, again, there's no flies on her because she's the first to call that something is up with Conrad. She Google searches him. She finds his Instagram. There's kind of a problem with this, though, isn't there? Because we later find out he's part of this right-wing conspiracy thing called Think Tank.
That's the issue I have with this episode is that podcast would have had so much anti-unit, anti-other things
Exactly.
as part of it. Like,
Yeah.
it would have been out there. It would have been on his social media if he had enough followers to do the village prank.
If you bring up the village, but also Frez.
I'm just gonna say to that. Well, one, yeah, it is one of those things where you gotta hold your suspension of disbelief to make it work. So but also another thing about Pete McTighe is that he's a gigantic classic Doctor Who nerd. Like, in addition to writing these 3 episodes, he does all the trailers for the classic Doctor Who Blu-rays, where it's like, where they get the old companion back and like, oh, so many years ago, I traveled with Doctor Who and I saw all these amazing things and I'm remembering them all now. Ooh, and buy the Blu-ray set with all this shit. So he is very well versed in classic Doctor Who. He eats, breathes, and drinks classic Doctor Who. So
he does.
All this is to say that, and I can't believe I clocked this. The name of his dumb anti-unit bullshit thing, Think Tank, is a goddamn deep cut reference.
That's Robot, yeah.
To the science fascist from Tom Baker's first story, Robot.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably a coincidence.
No,
But-
Probably not.
McTighe is so classic Who brain, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, fair point. If he is a big classic Who fan, it may be intentional.
Yeah.
Let's pivot for a moment, if you don't mind. Let's talk about Unit.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yes.
holy shit, that is a
Yes,
unit.
I am here to discuss this.
This is still one of my favorite tweets ever. By the way, I'm so glad this didn't get lost in the purge.
I love
I
it.
love him.
I
He is
love
amazing.
one.
He is amazing.
This is actually funny because at one point they did find a lost sheep that was gigantic and they called it Shrek.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I don't know if
wasn't
this is
this
Shrek
one,
or
but,
not, but
Wow,
That-
the years
that is a
start
large
coming,
lad.
start coming.
that is an amazing large lad. But no, let's talk
Wow.
about the actual unit now. So I do have a problem with this kind of.
Oh.
And it's more the fact that what you said about they've got a big shield tower. They've made Unit into like the the equivalent of Shield from the Avengers for Doctor Who, the Doctor Who universe,
Yeah.
and they've become a lot more militaristic, which kind of ruins the ending a little bit.
So yeah, this is where McTighe's gonna McTighe because and I don't know if we're gonna have time to get into it, but so Kris, I heard that you, in preparation for this, watched a previous McTighe episode.
I did. I watched Kerblam with Kat.
Oh,
Um,
So sorry.
why
the
are you?
best episode of
Why are you
series
still
11?
here? How are you still friends after this? No, I know. But please, some insights into Kerblam.
Well, honestly, it felt like 2 people were fighting for the proper story to get out. It started out like pretty normal Scooby-Doo nonsense, like, I gotta go investigate the thing because somebody sent a little note for help. Let's go, gang. And it's pretty basic, like spooky things are happening, nobody's sure why. And then all of a sudden, big twist, the bad guy was the farmer all along. No, janitor, not farmer.
The janitor. The bad
The
guy
only thing
was
that's missing-
the revolutionary
The
left. The bad guy was the revolutionary left.
I mean, in most Scooby-Doo, it's probably the farmer.
God.
And Kuchiri calls this the best episode of the season, and he's probably right in some ways.
It takes you away.
It's like the
It's-
only episode that the Doctor does anything.
It takes you
Yeah.
away.
The Doctor does something, and she stands up for fucking space Amazon.
Oh,
I'm
God.
saying that the Doctor actually does something to resolve the plot other than stand around the corner and let someone else do it, or create a civil rights horror that a blonde woman and an old man caused the civil rights. Could you imagine
Yes.
if Fox News ever heard about the episode? They'll be like, "Oh,
You're
see,
right.
we're
Also, hear me out. Space Frog.
no."
Space Frog.
I've always hated
Space Frog
the
is-
Space Frog.
I should show you Space Frog.
I love the Space Frog. I will go on record.
How can you hate Space Frog? What glory is Space Frog?
But
Space Frog's
The point-
amazing.
so the point I wanted to make and bring up Kerblam is that this episode is a little better, but it's probably because of my own biases, because it's very much the same, the status quo is threatened, but is ultimately presented as the greater good, and the revolutionary trying to stop it is taken down a notch. The only thing that improves it is that instead of a leftist trying to take down Space Amazon, it's a right-wing grifter shithead getting owned this time, and with my biases, I look at that and I go, good. But at the same
Also, you have to
time,
remember it's UNIT.
Yeah.
UNIT has historically been the good guys.
and this is the funny thing about it. This is the trap they fall into, because it's kind of the same trap as they do fall in with those Marvel movies, where you can't, you're raising the question, but you can't like seriously challenge the question. You can't seriously challenge, UNIT's militaristic or imperialist tendencies, because it's fucking UNIT. And McTighe's not going to do it because, again, he's a big classic Who nerd. He's like, I love UNIT. I love John Pertwee and the Brigadier. Look at this fuckhead. He's saying that the Brigadier is a big lying poo-poo head. Ooh, that's the worst crime in this episode. He should get his arm ripped off by a monster and his nuts ripped off as well.
I'm not gonna lie, that monster like jump scare at the end after he's like, good acting, good CG, and then the monster just come out of nowhere and chomps.
Yeah, I must say, special effects were improved.
That was hilarious.
That's good. I also want to say on that
pretty good.
moment, that's the most realistic thing.
Oh my!
Thank you. That's the most realistic moment for this review. Like 30 seconds earlier, he's pissing his pants. Oh, I let the monster eat me. Oh, Mommy K, don't do anything. I'm sorry. Oh, aliens are real. And they save him, and he's like, I was just kidding. They're fake. I'm right.
I think it's not bitten off.
You know,
And then backpedals. He learns no lessons because he's a shithead. But like,
You can take it
in
down,
the
though,
end,
Chris.
in the end, UNIT is not going to be challenged, even though Kate definitely pushes it a bit too far, where she's like, "Oh, okay, you think aliens aren't real? Well, then this monster is about to rip your fucking throat out."
We'll talk about that scene because I really enjoyed that scene a bit later on.
It was very Torchwood. That scene.
It has the same vibes of, I think it's, I forget who says this. I think it's River. You know what the Doctor is? Not here.
That's Amy, but yes, that's Amy.
Oh yeah, it is Amy, isn't
That's
it?
Amy in Wedding a River Song.
River Song didn't get it all from you, sweetie.
Another fantastic scene.
That's why gatekeep girl boss. But yeah,
Guess like gatekeep murder.
Yes.
No, gatekeep murder. Shit.
But yeah, it's challenging UNIT, but at no point does it think that UNIT is bad. It raises the question of, but UNIT has to keep all these dangerous weapons that could crack the planet in half like an egg, because, well, we're the good guys. We can be trusted with it. And you're raising the question, but you're also not interested in delving into the ramifications of that question, because you believe wholeheartedly in UNIT because you're a Doctor Who fan. So what are you doing? In the end, you're kind of doing the Pete McTighe thing again, where the system isn't the problem. It's the people abusing the system who are the problem. People like Conrad or Charlie.
I'll argue in a minute why that's perhaps not the case here, but Chris?
Yeah,
I was gonna continue my thought. Like, with Kerblam, it's like it did feel like somebody wrote the second part of the episode, or they had to completely redo what they actually wanted to do and put in a bullshit slap on band-aid. Well, fine, then here's this ending. But I will say that there are a lot of parallels that concern me about this writer, them being the white male protagonist that is very clearly an incel, despite
Yeah.
No, that was 3 weeks ago.
There's the thing that I like about it, though, is that he sets it up where they don't have to be an incel, but they very much remain firmly rooted in the belief that it's okay to be an incel because they have the greater good to serve. And the greater good in Conrad's case is his own wallet and fame, and it just falls into classic narcissism. Whereas the /farmer Charlie, he's
I love it.
It's always a farmer. They rip the mask off, and it's like old farmer Ben.
Yeah, that's Scooby-Doo. You're right. Carry on calling the farmer. I apologize.
It's always something like that, but it's just his reasonings behind it are so vague and vapid, and it just feels so shoehorned in. I didn't know if that was intentional or not, or maybe he just ran out of time to write what he actually wanted to write, or maybe he was told he couldn't write what he actually wanted to write. But the comparison between the two, it's pretty obvious. Like, he's just doing what he did before, but a little bit better.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also the showrunner script doctors these. So Chibnall, you've heard all of our complaints about Chibnall, script doctor Kerblam, RTD script doctor this one.
True. And I don't know if that's better or worse. And I'd love an interview with the guy to get his actual opinions on things. Because it did write as a pro-authoritarianism thing again. Which is what Kerblam felt like. You know, the system's not the problem. The authoritas not the problem.
There were moments where it's like, think of the government, think of the government organization, the poor government organization. Yeah. I don't think that's what he was going for, but that's kind of how it came across. However, I will forgive it for one thing. This is a phenomenal episode for Kate. Not even that whole, I'm going to have this thing rip your arm off scene at the end. They actually make her a character and not a plot device. Thank God.
Oh, speaking of plot devices.
Oh.
We could keep talking about Kate, but I did mention the Google Doc that I am very disappointed about one thing.
You did, yeah. Let's play that in for you. Go on.
Okay. Our favorite Shirley's back. Love her. She was amazing in Star Beast. You know, it was kind of cool seeing her again. They giggle, even though it was mostly to point out her disability. Oh, hey, she missed out a few unit episodes between Giggle and now, and she's back again to have another comment about her disability, and that's about it.
Not a good look.
Yeah. What? Why? I mean, she
missed out on series 1, by the way, because she was filming something else.
Mm-hmm.
But they made a point of saying she will be back.
But that's the thing, though. She did come back. And in the 2 episodes since her introduction, which her introduction is great. I love her. Her and David Tennant have, a really cool scene. She's just been a point to have someone say some horrible ableist shit to.
You guys do know that they read these scripts before they act it out, right? If she wanted to, she could say, "Hey, I'm not comfortable with this. Can we change
understand
this?"
that. I understand that, but at the same time, and I perfectly find that she is okay with these scripts. But it's at the same time, from someone looking outside, the fact that she's only been used twice since her introduction to have someone say some evil shit about her.
Right.
I get it.
That's not a good look. That's not.
She's become the plot device to the Kate.
You wish for better.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
No, I fully get it. It's just, she has the opportunity to speak up and say, "Hey, I don't like this. Can we change this?" But it could also be that she fully understands, being somebody who is disabled, that she gets this all the time, and she wants to point out to people, "Hey, I get this all the time. It's pretty fucked up, isn't it?"
Yeah, no one knows. I mean, I brought up that Reddit story last week, but people are really comfortable with saying horrible shit to people. I have deleted a few comments making fun of my speech impediment during the theory I did.
No, they were making fun of you in fact. They just wondered why you said that word like that.
No. Someone straight up said I need to go to speech therapy, and I'm like, "Oh, I did for 10 years. Thank you."
Yeah, also blocked. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention if you have an invisible disability, and it means you have to have a placard to park in at, one of the disability spaces, then everybody and their aunt comes up to you and says, "What are you parking there? Someone else deserves to park there."
Use the disabled toilet?
Yeah, it's them.
No, and the thing is that people who are fully able to use their bodies do sometimes, steal the motorized carts and stuff. My dad broke his leg and he was in a wheelchair for 18 months, and every weekend he loved going to Walmart because he got to actually move around on his own in those motorized carts. One day we went, there was no carts available, and there was like some college kid driving around like, 1 foot in the seat and doing like a handstand, driving around on it. I'm like, oh, cool, awesome. I'm not
an
saying
example from this country, if I may, disabled toilets.
Yeah.
When you use a disabled toilet and you've got a disability, but it's like an invisible disability, and you get some filthy looks when you come out. It's like, what are you doing in there? You're not in a wheelchair.
Yeah, which is
But you
weird
don't have to
because it's just a toilet until someone disabled comes in which case you give them, the opportunity to use it.
No,
because
in some places there's like a specific disabled toilet, like it's got like a disabled
that makes
logo
sense.
on the door. But the thing is, you don't have to be physically disabled to use it. Not to go too much into it, but I use it and I'm perfectly legitimate to use it. And I'll leave it there.
I have terrible claustrophobia, so.
Yes, true.
It's one of those things where I get where you're coming from, but like she also has the ability to speak up for herself. And so I don't want to run in and be like, this is terrible. No, they shouldn't do this and do this to her.
Plus,
I'm not saying they shouldn't do this. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm just saying I'm not a fan of how they've done it twice in a row.
No, I get it. I just don't want to be the one to waltz in and be like, I know what's best for her.
And to be fair, the actress has actually experienced this in real life.
Yeah.
When the giggle came out and there was that scene where she jumped out of her wheelchair to avoid getting hit by the toy maker, people said, oh, you're not disabled, are you? And then she actually posted a picture of her with her spina bifida showing, like she was in like a swimsuit or a bikini from the back. And no, she's really disabled, and she's a huge disability rights campaigner. So you
shouldn't have to prove that.
Like
she shouldn't have
everybody,
to prove that at all.
Exactly.
My God, like people can move out of the way and not be able to function properly.
Yeah.
Like, geez, you can throw your body weight. Do you not know how to do that? It's called a dodge.
But the thing is,
Go ahead.
Oh God, fuck you. Anyway, I do want an episode where she is actually helping out the doctor. Maybe they go to Scarrow, and so you can be like, oh yeah, they don't have like stairs and stuff here in Scarrow, and I don't know, like
they don't have stairs here on Scarrow.
I mean, they added all those ramps to the TARDIS, and she hasn't been in it yet. Just saying.
That is also unfortunate.
Or it's happening in the future.
Well, we only have 4 more episodes for Doctor Who is done forever.
Oh,
Forever!
I did find out something about
too low.
I did find out something about the Disney deal actually, which I don't think is particularly alarming, but I am going to mention it when we get to that particular point. But so we got out to coming up. The pub scene is really well done. It's also a complete rip-off of 73 Yards. We did this last year. Ruby goes to a pub, thinks she's being attacked by some kind of force, and it's actually a fake.
No.
We did this last year. And also last year, the Albion Party got mentioned. Because the guy that's helping Conrad from the inside of UNIT is a member of the Albion Party. This is just 73 years again. God damn it.
No, it's not. 73 yards is much better than this.
Wow.
Didn't we watch 73 Yards, Cat? Is that the one where the thing's just always 73 yards away?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What's Blink about? It's the one where you can't blink. What's 73 yards about? It's the thing that's always 73 yards away.
Kuchiri,
These
before you
guys
talk,
are so creative.
No, you guys are missing the point here. This means that 73 Yards is a classic episode according to Pete McTighe.
Oh, okay, there you go. Finally, you found
Nailed
something
it.
to taste.
freaking nailed it. But we get the pub scene, and yet, surprise! It's some assholes in rubber suits, and it's all to discredit UNIT, and it actually works. And then we get a series of cameos. Firstly, from sorry.
No, sorry. I just want to, before you go into the series of cameos, I want to point this out because Kris pointed this out too. This is bullshit that this has discredited UNIT at all.
Yeah.
Because they heard that there was an alien attack and they responded to an alien attack.
Yeah,
How is
like,
that discrediting?
It's so weird. It's such a weird gotcha. It's just bizarre because
it's the same people that think the moon landing was faked.
Egg.
It's
essentially.
like, oh no, we came out here because there were reports of people being actually scared because there are aliens outside about to attack. And like there were people, unless everybody in that pub was in on it, which I highly doubt.
No,
I
it's
don't
just
think
his
so.
friends.
No,
It's just Conrad's
no.
friends.
Yeah. So like
But-
there were all these people who could collaborate the story that unit gave.
It's like, help, 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 my house is on fire. The fire trucks come. You stupid idiots. Fires aren't real. This is why we needed to fund the fire department immediately.
Call an
Exactly.
ambulance, but not for me.
I know,
Essentially,
but-
this feels so weird.
But the thing is, like, when these go into the real world, whenever you're watching these alt-right podcasts or shows or whatever, you could tell them a million times over how things are, why things the way they are, all this shit, and they will find the one thing that disproves it. Like the fucking trans swimmer. A swimmer and a female trans swimmer get tied exactly fifth.
Yeah, fifth, not first place, fifth.
And they were like, oh, this is proof that, you know, we let trans women into our sports, they'll dominate every single sport out there. Proof right there. This one instance. Proof. But what about all these other facts? Like there's only like 12 trans athletes in college sport right now. Nope. This is
Proof, yeah.
Proof.
Or well, all the times that flat earthers have done experiments and then proved themselves wrong, and then like, no, that's fake. That's fake. I did the experiment wrong. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
guys,
Cat,
I'll
the
do it
Fire
again.
Society has members all over the globe.
I want to add that you can see this happen in the episode when he breaks into UNHQ and his mole on the inside is like, "What are you doing with that gun?" And you know he shot the guy, and then he's just like, "They're like, you shot that guy." Oh, yeah, well, maybe he was just an actor. Maybe he didn't even exist at all. Ha ha ha! I'm still right. He just
Maybe
like,
you shot him.
Yeah, he says that.
Yeah.
Maybe you shot him.
what
Maybe
is
he's
it?
an
On
actor.
camera. He says
Maybe
it on camera. Just saying.
Maybe he never existed.
And like, when did he turn the camera on? Is what I want to know, because like he would have been literally shooting a guy on live stream in front of millions of people.
He may not have
Again,
turned his camera on at that point.
Let's go back to this alt-right stuff. Alt-right grifters will contradict themselves 5 minutes after making a statement, and people will still believe them and give them money.
Yeah,
Case
that's
in
why they're
point,
grifters.
Andrew
Oh, that's
Tate,
so fucking true.
That
our
is why they're
president,
grifters.
Elon
then-
Musk.
Rush Limbaugh was the biggest one for me growing up. I got so
Oh
sick
my
of him.
god, that's the name of the past.
Yeah, drop his stupid name. I don't care that he's dead. He was a piece of shit, and I hope he's rotting in hell where he belongs.
Damn.
No. He don't forget he's now 7 years sober. He's looking up at us right now. It's fine.
fuck.
This just proves more and more that I was right in that Conrad literally is just Elon Musk.
Oof.
I'd still say Joe Rogan, but can we get to the cameos now? Because they are interesting.
Can I just interject real quick?
No, I can't. Go ahead.
I just wanted to really quickly add that in addition to all the other readings, a lot of people read this whole, oh no, we need to dismantle UNIT. Oh, you're just running in and blindly dismantling this government organization, which you don't know a fucking thing about, is basically just the DOGE. I refuse to call it.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
but
Rain,
here's-
please, the presenters.
No. Before that, to go off
Dear
on
God!
Frezno's point, this episode was filmed in November 2023, way before any of that shit was even talked about.
Okay, clearly he's psychic.
Anyway, if I may
This
interject-
instance,
Rain,
did
Rain,
it? Can we
Rain,
do
please.
Doctor Who did it?
Wasn't who did it, yeah. But there are some interesting cameos in this scene where Conrad is going around on
So
television.
before we get to the cameos, let's
For
just talk
God's sakes.
See, now we're just being deliberate.
Okay,
Okay, for
go
real,
ahead.
Rain, for real.
For real.
Conrad is going on the TV studios, telling his story and how UNIT are a bunch of hoaxers. And firstly, we get a character that we've seen before, Trinity Wells, who I think now is just RTD's stand-in for a Fox News host.
Alex Jones.
or Daily
Well-
Mail one.
Funny you say that because one of the next cameos, for the real-life cameos, is Alex Jones, not that one.
Oh.
The woman from the one show, her real name is Alex Jones. The Welsh lady. She's really nice. Then we've also got Rita Chakrabarti, who's a newsreader, and Joel Dummett, who is a comedian. Because he's telling jokes about UNIT on stage and getting a big laugh. And to answer Chris's question from earlier, I think they did get paid because they were all credited.
That's good.
They usually get
themselves.
paid. They usually get
As
paid.
themselves.
Yes. And it's not the only time this series we're going to see celebrities show up as themselves either. I can't say anything else. I don't want to spoil it for Cat.
Thank you.
Okay. I've got the cameras out of my system, as it were. So. Oh yeah, one
Before we
more.
get to the cameos.
There was another cameo. Shut up. There was another cameo. That wasn't a cameo actually, but people thought it was. When they've got like that wall of influencers talking about how Conrad is right about UNIT, Influencer 2 was not played by Ellie Littlechild from Who Culture.
What?
She was not played by Ellie Littlechild, but people thought she was.
So not appearing in this film.
Wow.
She actually had to put out a tweet that her singing along to Shaggy's "It Wasn't Me" and showing the actual actress that played her or played the character on screen. It was actually Calypso Cragg and not Ellie Littlechild. Still, this is now the second time in 2 series people have thought she was in an episode. So maybe in series 3, when it gets made, she will actually be in an episode. Third time's the charm.
A generic petite white woman. People can't tell them apart.
Be nice.
Oh my
Ow.
God.
It's not
You
her
know what
fault.
needs to happen? What needs to happen is she needs to be in an episode and everybody be like, no, that's not her. And then she has to be put up a thing that says, guys, this actually was me this time.
It would be even funnier if she said, "That's not me," and it is.
That would
Like,
remind
play
me-
into
yeah, that
it.
actually would be
For
funny.
some reason,
We're not falling for it a third time. It's not Ellie. Yeah, guys, it's not me. Credits Ellie Littlechild. Holy shit.
for some reason, this reminded me of a tweet that Anna Kendrick did, where she basically just said, "Holy shit, you guys! I just remembered I was in Twilight."
Yeah,
Yeah.
she watched it. Couldn't remember she was in it.
Wow.
Anna Kendrick's kind of great, actually.
Yeah.
She's kind of great. And then from that moment, we go to the absolutely crazy Act 3. I will say this. I think this was a little bit rushed.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And I don't care because the end payoff of it is phenomenal.
It is.
Oh, I
It is.
just remembered why I raised my hand randomly earlier.
Oh, go ahead.
What a R2D2 Doctor Who episode and pacing issues? You don't
Hey,
say.
guys.
They all feel like they maybe needed 5 more minutes just to really flesh it out, but yes.
Which is ironic because the Chibnall era had those 5 extra minutes and they did jack shit with it.
Exactly.
He's not salty, folks.
Not at all. What's the sodium
He's not
chloride
salty,
be drowning
he's just
in?
Lot's wife.
God. We're getting biblical on this podcast.
10 out of 10 for a Bible reference that actually fit what we're talking about. Well done, Kat.
But pish.
Dear
But
God.
Tish. Yeah, so Conrad breaks in. He's got a gun. Kate with an amazing line. Don't you dare point a gun at her, meaning Ruby. Prior to this, he's also said, oh, you were such a chore to get to know. Jesus Christ, just rip Ruby's heart out of her chest while you're at it.
I hate him.
She deserves better.
She does deserve better. Hopefully she will get it when she returns, if she
Maybe
returns.
just a hug and a little kiss on the forehead.
Well, she does get a hug. I don't know if she gets her on the forehead, but she does get a hug from Kate. Kate's her third mother, because the Shirley jokes, you're just collecting them now, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, she really is. But also, I forgot to mention this earlier. What's the name of that one soldier, the one that's always hanging around Kate in this episode?
Colonel Ibrahim.
Kudos to Kate. It looks like something's going on with him.
It was back in Empire of Death.
Yeah.
It's like, kudos to them. It's like, you get
It
it,
made the
Kate.
fandom very unhappy because they think that Kate has to be a lesbian.
I mean, what?
She could
I
be
mean, she could
bisexual.
just be bi.
She could just be bisexual.
Yeah, no.
It should be pointed out. There's never
Bisexual
actually
icon
proof.
confirmed.
There's no proof she's actually into ladies, but
Everybody keeps forgetting bi is the default.
Yeah, bi is
yes,
actually
actually, yes.
There you go. Yeah. Woo!
Just that picture of that guy standing up with a paper in his hand, and that's Kris.
Yeah, that look between her and him. You get it, Kate.
When he pours the coffee,
Be right back, writing a Kate/Melanie Bush fanfiction.
No. Get back here. We have an act 3 to discuss because
I mean,
I got some real Time Lord Victorious vibes from Kate here.
Yeah. It's just
You're still looking at the doctor here. She's telling the truth, and honestly, I'm glad he's not here. It's like, oh, you've done screwed up now, Conrad.
honestly,
You've made her angry. You've upset her. You've insulted the Brigadier to her face. You're dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's
As
just
close
like,
to as possible.
here you go. Here's your truth, buddy. It's gonna eat your fucking face.
And the fact that they're trying to tell us to stop now, like her own teammates are telling her to stop, like the Colonel, and Cher's like, okay, you've gone far enough, Kate.
Now,
I think he's got it.
I will interject again. I will say there's a lot of speculation going on that Kate going too far will pay off in the Pete McTighe penned spin-off, The War Between the Land and the Sea, and I'm sure that'll happen. That'll be great. That'll be wonderful. I'm not fucking looking at it.
I'm now you've mentioned that. So I thought it was strange that Disney had commissioned 26 episodes of Doctor Who for the initial deal. Those 5 episodes of that spin-off count.
Yeah.
So it's this series and then the spin-off, and then that's it for that initial deal. It doesn't mean they can't make another deal or they can't extend the deal.
No, Ray. It means Doctor Who is dead forever.
That's why people are going Doctor Who is dead forever, because they don't understand how contracts work.
Something. Darth Vader. Pray I don't alter the deal further.
Yes, true.
Something. Apparently, we care about cable numbers.
And something. Darth Vader. I don't like sand.
Something. Dark side.
Something. Conrad is a huge bitch, but he's actually got his life on the line.
It's fine because he got his arm bitten off. Kris at this point is such a guy. Right, release the hounds, Kate. Get him.
Right? Yeah.
Get the bastard.
I was kind of hoping that he would be told, "Yeah, go on, go open it yourself."
That would have been amazing. But the fact that they knew they were safe because it's only after him.
Yep.
And they caught it at the initial year when Ruby was slimed on by it, and the doctor obviously gave her the pheromones, the antidote, so that she was all right. They caught it in time.
This so when the Doctor stopped in the past, they went back into pocket dimension, but Unit caught it this year.
Yeah.
Gotta catch them all.
So, okay, I really want to... I love the world building and all, but, like, I need an explanation as to why this thing poops on you and then ducks out and then comes back a year later to eat.
We don't know.
That's
we don't know.
Weird.
New. It's a brand new thing.
This is very Torchwood, actually.
Aliens is fucking weird.
This is very kind of a Torchwood monster as opposed to a Doctor Who monster, but
it's not.
It's in Doctor Who.
There's not nearly enough fucking involved.
Oh my god.
Let's put it this way, Kris. Doctor Who has a long-running tradition of having monsters with rules to them.
Okay.
Almost all monsters have some sort of rule to it. Like you have to look at it and you can't blink or else it'll get you. It doesn't understand every 9th word for some reason, stuff like that.
Oh, so the aliens in Doctor Who are just fake. Got it.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, at this point, pretty much, because the Doctor introduced superstitions into the world. So, yeah. Pretty much, they are.
That's kind of the reason why all these crazy gods now exist, and it's kind of messing up everything. And it might be why Mrs. Flood exists. We don't know yet.
Well, somebody has a good idea on that.
And it doesn't involve that. So, no.
I had that good idea.
Yeah. What is your idea changed any by the teaser in this episode?
Nope, I still think it confirms it even more.
It doesn't actually disprove it. It doesn't disprove it.
Well, because how would Miss Flood know to unlock that cell? Like for that specific
I don't know.
person.
Oh,
It's almost like maybe Oh, that kid was cute. Oh no, that kid I'm going to lock up. That kid is going to be evil in a few years. Ah,
Well, we've only got 4 to go until we know if you're right or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's.
I mean, it kind of disputes it a little bit because how would Belinda know? But whatever.
again, the doctor tells Belinda after meeting the kid who the kid is.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of timey-wimey bullshit, hey, look, the 15th is here.
This is an amazing scene.
Okay, this is wild because this feels like, and I wrote this is a better version of the end of Orphan 55.
It really is. Because it's not
it-
part of Order 55.
You're literally just piercing the veil and addressing the audience directly, but instead of, addressing people who didn't vote hard enough for climate change, you're addressing people like Conrad, alt-right grifter shitheads who are yelling, Doctor Who's too woke these days. We need more strong white men in the show. We need less of this woke garbage. And it's telling them sincerely, genuinely, full-heartedly, fuck off and just let people be in this fucked up world.
I hate to be
vote.
that guy. I hate to be that guy. It's not just right wing. It's also people on the left that are like this. I know there's less of them, but there are people that are like this on the left. It's more just the extremist people, the people that don't want to let people be, just f off. Leave us
It's
be.
more like-
Leave us alone.
Because, I wrote in the notes that this is the unforgivable sin when you have actual evidence right in front of you and you choose to reject it anyway.
Yeah.
I reject your reality. Get off my planet.
Totally
Yeah.
not going to play into the finale. It's called the reality war.
Yeah.
He's like, do y'all remember the show Mythbusters?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, on that show, Adam had a quote, "I reject your reality and substitute my own."
Yeah,
He
this
said
is
it in a
Conrad.
joking manner. This feels like the toxic version of that. Like
Yeah.
those toxic, bros who would take that and be like, "Huh, I see the world in a different way, and my way is the only correct way. I reject your reality and I substitute my own, motherfucker."
That's literally red pilling, isn't it?
Yeah,
Essentially.
that's red pilling.
He's one of those. It's essentially talking to people who are exactly like that, who look at evidence and say, I don't care. I see something that is my worldview, and I'm going to focus entirely on that and bury my head in the sand for everything else.
And if you take this as the dark mirror, I said the thing, of Love and Monsters, where it's like, oh God, look how loving Doctor Who can twist you into a fucking inhuman monster. This is Doctor Who itself looking upon that twisted monster and saying, no, fuck you.
The great line about you are special, but in all the wrong ways.
Yeah.
Whoa. And then you want some spoilers, Conrad? You die alone in a prison cell. Until at age 49, your heart packs up from all the poison. Good God.
He channeled his inner McCoy for this shit.
But I think this, more than what Kate did, is going to have the repercussions for the finale.
But
Yeah.
The Doctor went a
Yeah,
bit too far. He went a bit too far here.
yeah, this shithead's probably showing up in the finale and probably dying, which good.
It's just a question of who gets him.
No great
Honestly, I
props.
think if Mrs. Flood never shown up, that would have been his fate, and it would have gotten to him, because you can see that what the doctor said did get to him.
Yeah.
It really
So-
did get to him, because that's the kind of
Change the
thing
timeline. That's absolutely changed the timeline here.
he fears. That obscurity. He fears being forgotten. He fears having no money, no notoriety, no recognition whatsoever. That's what he feared.
Like a narcissist, you mean?
Like a
Exactly.
narcissist. Kuchiri.
What's to say a Jadoon doesn't show up after the events of the reality war and takes them to a, moon-shaped prison? And the
Yeah, because you
doctor-
never said he'd die in that prison. You're right.
That's true.
That would be good. I think Mrs. Flood will kill him. And she'll say, good news, love, you don't die at age 49. Bad news, bang.
Woof.
But I do think if this was any other Doctor pre-15, the guy wasn't going to see
Oh, 12 would reduce into ashes if he so much as hurt a hair on Clara's head.
I will say what I said in the chat. 12 would not reduce him to ashes. Clara would do it first.
True. All right.
If it was Amy, I don't think he would have survived 5 seconds after the reveal that he was an asshole.
If Corin was a girl and had done this to Bill, 12 would have reduced into ashes.
Yeah.
But everyone says, man, the 10th Doctor would have thrown him into a mirror. No, the 10th Doctor would have done something that cruel to Sister Amon.
No. He would not have done something so cruel to mirrors.
Oh my god, yeah. The mirror just breaks as soon as Conrad goes into it. No, dying now.
No, honestly, I think what the 15th Doctor does here is more cruel than anything that the other Doctors could have ever done. Because all the other Doctors, they would have, maybe stuck him someplace, put him in a mirror or whatever, put him into, something. I don't know. Who knows what could have happened to him. The 15th Doctor leaves him to rot. And that is more cruel to a narcissist than anything else.
Oh, yeah, much worse punishment. Much worse punishment. And it's a little bit out of sequence, but also just poor Ruby. Just poor Ruby Sunday.
Ruby.
Don't forget about poor Ruby. Give her
that hug that Kate gives her is heartbreaking.
That precious being. Why did you have to have her as the collateral damage? She has anxiety now. She's never going to trust anybody ever again. This poor baby.
Give her
therapy. Didn't get exploded with bubble wrap this time.
Maybe that will play into the finale that she's got anxiety and doesn't trust anybody.
I want her to be okay. I want her to be okay. So
because I think she's coming back, and I think she'll actually travel with Belinda and the Doctor in the 2-part finale. I don't know for sure.
That'd be neat.
I do love that we do actually get a glimpse of a companion post Doctor that isn't like some sort of time skip like Martha. Oh, I work for Unit now. I have 2 years of character development. More character development.
We didn't see, yeah. Well, Ruby might work for Unit by the time we see her again. We don't know.
Yeah, she did seem to have her know her way around the console area.
Kate does have an awful habit of A, recruiting the Doctor's past companions, and B, recruiting children.
At least
she tried to recruit.
Hashtag.
Conrad tried to join Unit when he was 18 and said, you know what I wrote on your file? Don't trust him.
Yeah.
Damn, Kate, you had him sussed from the beginning.
Yeah.
Among Us.
Yeah, so I do remember you, Conrad. I've always remembered you.
He was.
Oh, for God's sakes.
You started this.
How did I start this?
You just
I don't know, but you did.
Fair.
Anything else or final thoughts?
I think we should go into our overall thoughts.
Well, no. We still have something to touch on.
Please, Kat.
Oh no, Mrs. Flood, yeah.
I thought we did that. I said
no,
well,
we didn't.
No, we didn't talk about her at all.
Okay. Talk about
Mrs. Flood, who's actually done something in this episode. Thank God.
Josh Snares had the best joke when he reviewed the episode. He's like, and then Mrs. Flood shows up at the end and calls herself the governor. So it's confirmed. Mrs. Flood is Governor Hansel from Power of the Daleks.
No, it's even better than that.
For The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
She's Negan. It's great. A+.
There's actually a character called the Governor in the
Yeah, that's not Negan. That's
the Governor.
I thought they were the same one.
That's David Moses' Governor.
Listen. I don't know this. I only watch peak zombie media like Zombieland Saga.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, we gotta plug it sometime.
Yeah, but now Mrs. Fuller is here. She's now the governor, which makes me think that she's the boss that the meat referred to.
Oh,
because governor and boss mean the same thing.
Speaking of the meat, one of my the comments fucking sent me hilarious. Someone asked, where did Mrs. Flood get that coat from at the end of series 1? The meat.
She skinned the meat, yeah.
Ooh.
You have failed, and I will wear you as a coat. Holy crap! So yeah, can we get to overall thoughts then? Do you think? If we
Well, after one thing, I have a question for you, Rain.
Okay.
I kind of have a vague idea of how it works here in the States, but in the UK, can prisoners appeal to the governor for freedom?
No, not the governor. They can appeal to the parole board.
Okay. Because something that some people can do in the States is sometimes the governor of like the county or state or whatever the governor is governor of could come in and say, no, you need to free this person because I feel that they didn't actually do something. So I'm wondering if she's actually called the governor or if she's just making a joke because she's freeing him.
Could be
Making a
both.
joke.
Could be both. Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer your question, it works two ways. So a prisoner can apply for parole if they think that they've done enough to merit it, like good behaviour, early release, and then it goes to the courts to decide whether or not this person should be paroled. But also, if somebody's due to be released, the government can petition for that to be extended if they don't believe that they are still fit to go to society. It's controversial when it happens, but usually it's for like the worst of the worst, like killers and rapists.
Well, I know governors are also a term for like something that puts a limit on things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just know that there's some governors that have the ability in the States, at least, to authorize, temporary releases or release people from jail, especially if like they're on death row.
No, we don't have that. The governor just runs the prison.
Situations like that.
It is a governor that just runs the prison.
Yeah.
In this country. But can we now get to overall thoughts?
Well, actually, if she's saying she's the governor, if they run the prison, could she just be saying that she's the one who runs the prison then?
Possibly. Do you think she's recruiting a team, by the way?
Maybe.
Or has she just picked up a companion?
No idea.
Squad.
Some sort of death brigade. Frezno's what I'm referencing.
Yes.
We need to get him on the podcast one day if we can.
Who's that?
Joe Feathers.
By the way, I'm not entirely sure if that's her actual name or if she's just referencing a title that she currently has, considering in the past before she's had titles where
she had a name in at the end of the well, didn't she?
Yeah, because she's had
Kuchiri
titles and
pointed out.
she's had names before.
Yeah.
And we're not really sure right now if that's just her title or if this is an actual name.
Twist thing, but at least she's actually doing things now. She's actually moving towards the finale, as opposed to just, I'm here, I still exist, and God. Okay, are we okay for overall thoughts now?
Yes.
Okay, Kris, as our guest, would you like to go first?
Sure. This episode was good, but the ulterior motives of the narrative concern me, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. As an outsider looking at it, like, is this pro-authoritarianism? Is this just anti fake news? Is it? I'm not exactly sure where it lies with what message it's trying to say, and it feels like there's a lot of layers here. And when compared to Kerblam, it's definitely a lot better written and more cohesive. But I don't know, I'm just suspicious of this guy. I don't know about this writer. But yeah, overall, good fun. Honestly, a juicy justice bit at the end where, the guy gets his just desserts. That happens to be his arm being ripped off. That's honestly
great. No, the Shri got the desserts. It was his entire arm.
So what was that ring then? Because they
grafted his arm back together.
Oh shit!
Or it's a fake arm. Again, we might find out if he turns up again in the finale. But either way, the thing bit his arm off for sure.
Yeah,
that was still one of the funniest things.
Honestly, he's lucky he didn't go for the throat.
I kind of wish he did. Also, the fact that Ruby said he said to her, "Thank you, go to hell." Damn girl, yes.
Flower coded.
Rose coded as well, but yes.
Hashtag hot girl with taser.
Hot taser
Hot
lady.
taser
Or
girl,
hot
yeah.
taser girl.
Hot
Yeah.
taser lady is also trending. I'm not sure if it's you or me, Ruby.
I just wish somebody had kicked him in the balls just once, please.
I mean, he got
I
his
stand
arm
with
ripped
unit
off,
was
so-
I stand with unit was trending at the end as well, which is interesting.
Gotta
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
them internet witch hunts.
I stand with the massive ram. No, wait, sorry. In fairness, I do stand with the massive ram. If it still exists today, I stand on the massive ram. I sit on the thing. Charge, boy! Get him!
Yeah, I stand with the Shrek.
Like the rider from Donkey Kong. So, Kat, what do you think about the episode?
I'm a fan. This is a lot better than his previous episodes, that's for sure. Again, it's hard to tell how much of this was actual Pete McTighe and how much of this is RTD like reining him in, or how much of this is him like letting him loose. Like, we'll never really get that answer. Even if we do manage to get the chance to have him be interviewed or something like that, there's always the chance that he could, lie, or he might not tell the full truth, or something might happen where he's not allowed to tell the full thing. We will never really know exactly what went on here. But I really like the episode. I hate what they did to Ruby though. Obviously Conrad is a con. I hate to make that joke, but badumpish. They really do touch on an idea that has perpetuated for quite some time, and unfortunately has really reared its ugly head a lot more since the beginning of, the elections, unfortunately. So it's something that I've had to deal with, Kris and I have had to deal with for quite some time now, so it's a little depressing to have to think of. But when you've been living in that for a while, you start to see there are a lot of people who are exactly like Conrad, who do prey on people like this, and they do sort of force people to think like this in a way. So it's depressing in that aspect. I probably won't be watching this episode again just for that, but otherwise it was a good episode. It was very well written. It had a message that, I can see why some people were confused. I personally think it wasn't that confusing. I see the message of, while you should be willing to question things, maybe don't question everything that you can see with your own eyes, and instead be willing to trust what you can see rather than some random person who tells you things. I think that's the message that they were trying to convey, rather than, like, authoritarianism, blah, 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 or at least that's my interpretation of the whole thing. So overall, decent episode. I probably won't watch it again. That's about it.
Okay, Kuchiri?
I wish they did something different for the third act. I feel like maybe after the whole "hey, I was just using you" thing, if they just focused on Ruby's aftermath and how she's dealing with it and how she moves on, while maybe they have the new stuff in the back of them being slammed, just whatever. Like I feel like this was such a well-paced, good episode until then. And yeah, no, I mean, it's just been one of the few issues with this new Who is the pacing.
Yeah, the pacing has not been the best.
No.
Frezno!
Well, it's the best Pete McTighe episode I've ever watched. I'll give it that. It's good. It has its issues and its problems. It's a little muddled in places, but it is trying in parts to tell a good message about, don't let this right-wing horse shit melt your brains. But at the same time, a part of me does feel like it is just Kerblam again, except instead of a revolutionary leftist, it's a radical right-wing grifter shithead. Now, this is why it elevates the episode for me, because as a lefty, I enjoy seeing right-wing shitheads get taken down a notch, and this guy was taken down a notch. So I have biases, and I admit to them. But at the same time, it really does feel like it is kind of just that Kerblam thing again. It's got this uppity upstart raising questions about the status quo, only to get shut down. So it is in itself a Pete McTighe episode, slightly improved, but it's still good for this season. But I'm sure by the end of it, it'll probably be down in my lower ranking, let's say. If there are better episodes, like I like Lux more, probably put The Well above this. Yeah, but McTighe did okay.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Not that joke, no. Not that joke, no.
Ah.
Ha, ha, ha. No, not that at all. I thought I was going to be the only one that had something positive to say about this episode. I genuinely did. I thought, oh no, I'm going to be the one person that stands out like a sore thumb. And so I had something prepared to demonstrate this, and it didn't work for some strange reason. But now it's working. But this doesn't work anymore now because I'm not the only person that had something positive over this. But here you go anyway. Have this. That's what I thought I was going to feel like. That's what I thought I was going to feel like. I actually don't. Because I thought it was decent, honestly. I think for a McTighe episode, it was pretty decent. I thought the acting was phenomenal throughout, particularly Millie Gibson and Jonah Howard-King. Yeah, his character's a piece of shit, but fantastic acting to play him. Also, the fact that Kate was actually a character, and she's actually has something great to do in this. I thought it was okay. It still has the same problems as a lot of McTighe's previous episodes with the politics. It's still doing the whole, well, actually, the systems aren't the problem, guys. It's people. It's people. It's individual people or organizations. And that's not the right message, but it's a step in the right direction. I don't think it was bad. And I think the overall quality of this series has been phenomenal. And I think this still adds to it. It's not as good as The Well or Lux, though. Kat, go ahead.
I was going to wait for you to be finished with your thoughts before
I'm finished.
Okay. I was thinking about this as I was waiting for you two to finish, and I think what really saves this episode is the fact that it's UNIT. If it was any other government entity other than UNIT, we would have had very different thoughts.
Yeah.
If it was Torchwood, I agree.
And the fact
because, if it was somebody else, I don't think I would have had the same feelings because, we know UNIT. We've essentially kind of grown up with UNIT a little bit. We know Kate, we know the Lethbridge Stewart line. If it was anybody else, I honestly think that this episode would have gone off a lot worse because maybe we would have been, yeah, fuck these guys. Maybe they are assholes. We don't know anything about them. But because we know UNIT, we love them. We like them. We know that they're good people. Kris?
Okay, I just wanted to point out one more thing. Being in a position of authority. Oh, hang on. Thank you, here. Being in a position of authority and knowing what your limits are versus what the people perceive you can do is pretty, it's a huge gap. People think that because we are working for the government in some sort of government capacity that we have all the answers and we have the power to wave our hand and do things. But really, we're just running around with a pooper scooper trying to make sure the public doesn't kill themselves.
Yeah. Having worked in local authority myself in the past, agreed.
And it's just, I get where it's coming from. If it's coming from that angle, it's guys, just give us a break for 30 seconds and think with your brains. But I don't know. I still don't quite trust the episode. And I'd have to see a lot more of his writing in order to determine where his actual thoughts and beliefs lie.
Yeah.
And one more thing to mention, the cinematography of this episode holy shit, whoever they got to do all the shots, an absolute genius. Well done. A++. Everything was great from a cinematography angle.
Yeah, that cafe scene where she's describing what the street does to people, how it gets to you, and it's just them in the cafe. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That was beautiful and perfect.
I hope that next week will be beautiful and perfect. It probably won't be, because I know very little about it. It's the story and the engine. I know one thing about it that's definitely not going to upset people online. No, sir. An entire cast of colour.
That I'm
Apart
fine
from
with.
maybe-
What I'm not
apart
fine
from
with is the
Mrs. Flood.
spider.
Yeah, I thought you were
Yeah.
going to talk about the giant alien robot spider.
I was trying not to talk about that, Kuchiri, because one of our co-hosts has a problem with it.
But
Well, it was in the preview, so I've kind of seen it already.
So
Yeah,
you don't want to have to do this episode there, Kat, because that's fair enough.
it is the giant robot alien spider in the room.
Kat, if you
It's
want
a
to-
robot, so it's not as bad as the ones from Arachnids.
yes, but if
so
you want
I
to
should
save
be
this
fine.
episode podcast, I don't mind.
But if we to trust leaks, it will be locked in a room and eventually die out from lack of oxygen.
God damn it!
Again, though, Kat, serious point. If you want to sit out next week's podcast because of that, I don't mind.
If it's fake, I'm fine with it. It's the more realistic it gets that it's worse. But this one
All right.
was robotic and it looked fake, so I can take it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure about that.
Nice.
But yeah,
It's
apart
the
from
more realistic looking ones that I cannot take. I can't look at images of real or realistic looking ones. Those ones just
presuming we
ugh.
don't get a cameo from Mrs. Flood at the end, and we might. This is supposed to be the
Mrs. Flood
first.
is the spider.
I was about to say that.
This is supposed to be the first ever episode of Doctor Who with an entire cast of colour.
Love it.
Which
Whether it is or not, I don't know.
shame. Well, it might not be if we get another Mrs. Flood cameo.
Discord is blowing up for some reason. I'm getting notification. What the hell phone? What the
I
hell phone?
didn't do nothing. Rain, where can you find this lovely people?
But when I stop fighting with the Discord, you can find us on not on Discord, on Blue Sky.
You can also
Links
find
in
us
this-
on Discord.
Links in the description below. Yeah, but we're not going to put our Discord out there in public. To hell with that. You can also
find
find
Rain
us.
on Discord. His name is spelled Tejas.
And here
We
Ray
nearly went a whole
thought-
2 hours without a
Yeah.
Texas joke. God damn it.
I
Ray
miss.
thought.
But also Twitch, links below. Kris, do you have anything to plug?
Nothing off the top of my head other than possibly Shrek 5. Ooh, so excited.
Okay, random, but I'll
Starring
allow
the
it.
Shriek.
so the Shriek, yeah. Somebody, no. And I know Frizz wants to talk about it, so I'll get to the plugs for the books. Don't worry about it. So, buy Time for the Trees by Sean Dillon. Buy volumes 1, 2, and soon to be 3 of Back to the Nth Hour by Elena and Ria McTighe. And let's talk Shadow of the Gallifreyan, because I have now read it from cover to cover. And Frez, yes, I've read your 2 stories.
Oh, have you? Well, I've been waiting for this ever since the Lux podcast. So, what'd you think?
I thought they were both pretty good. As I said to the others last week, you can tell that you wrote them, knowing you.
How so?
That's a compliment. That is a compliment.
No, I know it's
I
a
mean-
compliment. I want to be specifically complimented. How
I mean,
so?
when you open the chapter of a giant holographic card that reflects your image back at you, I mean, that was the.
Yeah, no, that was a surprise. I thought my soul just leave my body at that point. It was amazing. No, no, you did 2 stories. One was about was a take on Creature from the Pit, which I knew because you love that damn story.
It's based. I'm
It
telling
is
you,
kind of based, and that's called Liberation Day. And then you've got the Presidium versus the Sirius Conglomerate, which is a take off Caves of Androzani. And you lucky person, you've got to do the Caves of Androzani.
They gave the most beloved classic Doctor Who story to me.
And you injected politics into it. Well done.
Well. It's funny
Politics
because,
in Doctor Who.
It's kind of what we talked about, you know, how certain political figures who we will not name here on the podcast react. And Frez wrote a character from that particular story a bit like that. And it fit perfectly. It's like their trial for crimes.
Yeah, because, you know, I was kind of boxed in with Caves of Androzani because the only people who technically survive Caves of Androzani are what's-his-face's secretary, who the story is about, and Perry, because even Doctor Who dies. Because
Technically the Doctor dies as well, but he gets better.
He becomes Colin. He gets better and becomes Colin Baker.
So without giving too much away, it's basically it's a speech from a trial, and it's really well written.
Yeah,
and then Liberation Day is just talking about another character that survived that particular story.
He was the guy with the whip who had the weeds, the tumbleweeds, the 8K9 and shit.
Yeah, the hunter.
I had to pick somebody. The entire conceit of the book is like what happens to people after the Doctor Who adventures.
Yeah, I mean, some people do get creative. Is like, well, this character died, but here's their testimony figure. Oh no!
Yeah, that was really clever for stories like Horror of Fang Rock, where everyone fucking
it's clever, but it gets overused.
Well, I mean, you know, there are a lot of ways that Doctor Who canon deals with life after death. You either go with testimony or you go with the Jarians.
And they are also in the book. Spoilers.
But I didn't have to do that because I picked stories where there were.
Yeah, as I've said before, I would have been too busy when this was being written to.
Ironically, the Caves of Androzani one, I felt like I kind of phoned that in. I was like, oh, okay, you know, just go through the motions. I'm on trial. How dare you impugn?
It was good. My favorite one of yours is Liberation Day.
Well, I'm glad. The third one I did, which maybe it'll be in Gallifreyan Volume.
Was it Warriors Gate by any chance?
It was not Warriors Gate.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what I would have done with a Warriors Gate one, but no. Yeah, the Liberation Day is good. The Caves of Androzani one I kind of phoned in, which is surprising because when I sent it into the editor, they were like, "Oh, this is fantastic. This is the best one yet." And I'm like, oh, "Fake it till you make it."
There you go.
But yeah, I had a great
# just as planned.
I had a great time writing those, and I'm glad that you got to read it. And I'm sure hoping that you all can read my stories and get the book for yourselves, and don't make me hurl it at you for a holiday season to force it upon me.
Hey, now, in fairness, I didn't know you could actually get it in a proper paperback copy.
You can, and I have it on my shelf, and it's spectacular.
I have it next to me right now, so I can refer to the title of the stories. But
yes, good.
I didn't want to get it wrong in front of the author. That would be hella rude.
Excellent. But I'm glad that you enjoyed them. Thank you very much for getting to it at the last stream.
Yeah. Say goodnight, Frezno. No, wait, sorry, wrong person. Say goodnight, me.
There's still more plugs.
Yeah, there's more plugs.
Oh,
I've done it again.
God.
I've done it again.
Somebody made a really popular video.
But guys, Formula 1. End of argument. No, okay. So, somebody made a really popular video. Kuchiri, talk about the video.
I have a theory, and I talk about the theory, and somehow it blew up, even though I thought it was only going to be like, I don't know, like 100 views, but now
it's time recording, it's over 9,000. Raw.
It's going to be 10,000 by the end of the day.
There's no way that can be right, can it?
Hell yeah.
And,
that's right.
My theory is Belinda is Mrs. Flood.
Oh, well, now you don't have to go and see that.
You can watch our video instead and have to wait for 2 hours.
Spoil.
Oh, wait, I didn't hear what Kris said. My bad.
I'm so confused.
It's a default state of being. Yeah, I agree.
Congratulations on the success of your viral hit video, Kuchiri.
Yeah,
I'm going to be doing another one, hopefully, if I can get over my writer's block on the Midnight Entity. And
I had to get over my writer's block.
Thank you for reminding me. I need to get you some pics for that one as well.
Well, basically, I think I know what the next Midnight Entity episode is going to be about.
Well, if you need anything for that video, the DMs are open.
Looking forward to that next episode coming out in 17 years' time from now. So more plugs then. I believe sometime on Mondays now, Frezno.
It's May, bitches.
It's going to be May. No, wait, it is May. Damn it.
Yeah, it's time for Mega May, which is going to be interesting because I'm saying it right now in the podcast. It'll probably be out by the time of the streams before. I'm doing a grab bag of Mega May games because I'd rather rip my ring finger off than play Mega Man X6 on the fucking screen.
It's the correct answer.
Mega Man X6 is so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
And think it's where I did 1 through 4 last year. So just think of the fucking lineup I have. 5, 6, 7, 8. No.
I mean, at least there's 1.5 good games there.
Yeah, you got 1.5 out of that. No. Jesus. But anyway, anything else, or shall we say goodnight, Ray?
Cat go to plug?
Sometimes I stream on Sundays, but not every Sunday.
You haven't been doing anything specific now or since the last time we recorded?
I'm still trying to work my way through Silent Hill, and I probably should get back on that soon.
Good. Okay. Yeah, you should. Okay, Frezno, now you can say the thing to me.
Say goodnight, Ray.
But before
Thank
we get
you.
to the cameos,
You know what?
Fuck your cameos.
No, we're not.
You know
paying
what?
Ella Baker to troll me again.
You know what? I'll allow it, Kuchiri. Well done. Well played. Touche. You even get the A, not just the touche. Touche. Good night, Reniac, and thank you to our guest, Kris.
You're very welcome. Always happy to join.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Good. We'll have to get you back on another time soon then.
Fantastic. I'd love to.
I thought that was a bit where you just like leave the call. It's like, oh yeah, something's come up. Bye. And we'll
say
see
goodnight,
you next.
Brainiac.
I just did, and I'll see you. We'll see you next time. Well, the four of us will see you next time for the story and the engine. And I have no idea what to expect. And yeah, that it could be good, could be terrible. Until next time, bye for now.
Bye.
So that was Ellie Culture, right?